My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Black Friday. There's far too many people there, it's overcrowded, the prices aren't as good as people say. I think it's a very overrated shopping day. So those are my thoughts on Black Friday. But now that those thoughts are out of the way, let's talk about the movie Black Friday, a movie that most of you haven't heard about. It's a pretty simple plot. You've got a bunch of people who work at a toy store and it gets attacked by parasite infected people. And this is a movie that I thought sounded pretty cool, but it didn't get the best reviews, so I went into it with low expectations, and I really dug the first scene of this movie. It was a very simple, predictable scene, but it showed promise with its practical effects, and this might just be a fun turn off your brain kind of movie. But unfortunately, from that point forward, the movie is anything but good. This is a very forgettable movie in every way. I watched this movie a few hours ago and I had to film this review now because if I didn't and I waited till tomorrow, I might forget this entire movie. Now, I will say that the practical effects in this movie are quite good. They're definitely better in some moments than others, and when the movie tries to go too big, I'm not sure if they had the budget for it, but you can still tell that a lot of care went into those effects, so kudos to the movie on that. But that's where my positives end because I did not enjoy this movie at all. In fact, for a movie with this kind of premise, I found it oddly boring. I was just zoning out the entire time. It just never grabbed me, and this movie was trying way too hard the entire runtime. They were trying as hard as they could to make a cult classic instead of just letting it happen naturally. I've actually noticed some other genre movies trying to do that when they're like, okay guys, let's just try our best to make the next cult classic. And that's just not how it happens. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World didn't become a cult classic because Edgar Wright was like, I'm gonna make a cult classic. No, he made a great, unique movie that didn't take off when it came out, and over the years, it happened naturally. That's how it happens. But now directors are just like, okay, I'm gonna think of this wild, crazy plot, and it's gonna be like a B movie, and people are going to dig it. It's gonna become a cult classic. There's a few movies that I can think of that have done this recently. Anne and the Apocalypse was a movie that I was super excited for back in 2018, I want to say. It's a Christmas zombie musical, and the entire movie just felt like they were trying really hard to make a cult classic, and it's just not a very good movie. That was actually one of my biggest disappointments of that year because it was not good and it had all the potential to be. Then you've also got a movie like Willy's Wonderland where Nicolas Cage plays this man who doesn't talk, and he gets hired to clean this haunted Chuck E. Cheese type place in one night, and he has to fight evil animatronics. And it sounds awesome based on that premise, but my goodness, that movie was a massive letdown. Not well made, not intense, not fun, just a movie that was trying so hard to be a cult classic, and that's the case with this movie too. It's got the B-movie vibes, you've got the bad performances, you've got the over-the-top gore effects, and I should like the movie based on that, but there's just so little charm and heart and just fun to be had here. This entire movie just felt very amateurish, and not even in a fun way like The Room, just bad amateurish. The effects are good, but just every other element of this movie is bad. Which kind of surprises me when I look at the cast, because the cast should have been a bright spot of this movie. I mean, you've got Devon Sawa, who isn't the greatest actor or anything, but he was pretty decent in the Chucky TV show, and there was this movie that came out a couple years ago called Hunter x Hunter. It is this great movie, it's his best performance ever, and he's not very good in this movie. Then you've got Ivana Bikoro, who I probably mispronounced her last name, but while I was watching the movie, I'm just like, yeah, this actress just did nothing for me. And then I looked up who she was afterwards, and she played Ophelia in Pan's Labyrinth. Pan's Labyrinth is one of my favorite movies of all time, and that performance by hers is absolutely amazing. It's just a shame that she's not better in this movie, because she had talent when she was younger, and I'm sure she still has that potential now. Then you've also got Ryan Lee, who the entire time while I was watching this movie, I'm just like, this looks like a younger version of Jack McBrayer. but it's Ryan Lee, the kid from Super 8 who likes exploding things, and he was also in This Is 40. He was Melissa McCarthy's kid in that movie. So he's been in some movies, and he's been fine in those movies, so I was hoping for a better performance from him, but I found him to be incredibly dull. Then you've got Stephen Peck, who just annoyed me to no end. I couldn't stand this character. You can tell that they think that they have hit comedy gold with this actor, but he just got on my nerves. I found him annoying, and I did not enjoy him at all in this movie. And then you've also got Bruce Campbell, who I love in the Evil Dead movies. I haven't seen Bubba Hotep, but I've heard great things about that movie. I've heard good things about My Name is Bruce. But the truth is, Bruce Campbell isn't a great actor. His performances in the Evil Dead movies were great for those specific movies. It worked for that tone perfectly. But he hasn't really shined in too many other movies, and that's the case here. They think by hiring him, it's enough, but unfortunately, it's not. So the cast for this movie, I think, do a terrible job carrying it. I think they lack any bit of personality or charisma in this movie. And there are talented actors, so I think that lands more on the script and the director than anything else. And the script is really awful. Like, there's this one scene at the end where this guy is standing up for himself against this monster, and I'm like, okay, well, he's gonna get beaten up in 3, 2, 1. Happens, so predictable. This movie isn't even remotely funny, it's not scary, it's not tense, and the effects, like I said, are impressive, but they just can't save this bland piece of crap. I wanted to love this movie. On paper, I should have loved this movie, but in execution, just about everything fails. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Black Friday a 3 out of 10. I forgot to mention that this movie is an hour and 20 minutes long, and it felt so much longer. Like, this is a very boring movie and just terribly paced. But have you seen Black Friday? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon, and Gavin